Hey guys, welcome back to the Squared Circle with Daphne.
And Nick. Today we are diving into Bad Blood lore with the top 5 Bad Blood matches you must watch before Bad Blood 2024 or just in general because they're pretty good. These matches are iconic with one dating as far back as 1997. I will say WWE was a different time back then, so we won't be able to show you guys some parts because kind of gnarly with all the blood, and we're not trying to violate community guidelines. So, regardless, we're here to give you the highlights of each match and why you should watch them before Bad Blood on October 5th.
Guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some of them made me want to look away. Now, before we pour into Bad Blood lore, don't forget to sweet chin music straight into that subscribe, and don't forget to like and leave a comment on our video. Anyway, let's gush into it. Nick?
All right, guys, starting with number 5, we got Shawn Michaels versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair at Bad Blood 2003. The match was all drama. Shawn, who grew up idolizing Rick, went about fighting with his childhood hero. But by this time, Rick was part of the Evil Evolution faction with Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, which made things a little bit more intense.
Yeah, let's not forget the emotional vibe of it all. This wasn't just any match. Shawn had looked up to Flair his whole life, but now Flair was the bad guy. Despite being older, Flair did not shy away from his usual dirty tricks like poking Shawn in the eyes and hitting a sneaky low blow when the ref was not looking.
And Shawn Michaels was just doing Shawn Michael things. He hit all of his signature moves, including the flying elbow, sweet chin music. But Flair, he's just so dirty. He just kept finding ways to survive. And then you have a young Randy Orton pre-roided out coming out and messing things up. Just when Shawn looked like he might pull off the win, Randy Orton came out of nowhere, as always, and smacked Shawn with a chair, handing the advantage to Flair.
Yep, the chair shot definitely solidified Flair's win. In the end, it was less about the result and way more about the storytelling, with Flair using every trick in the book and Shawn fighting his absolute heart out against his so called idol. If you haven't watched it, it's not exactly a banger, but it is a great match with two legends who can sell the hell out of some moves. 7 out of 10.
I agree. Daphne, what's number 4?
At number 4, we got Kane versus Chris Benoit at Bad Blood 2004. Benoit was the heavyweight champion at the time. This was your classic underdog story with a smaller, rabid Wolverine versus the big red machine. Both had serious on and off screen anger problems. Benoit was just the more technical wrestler, and Kane was just destroying anything and everything at this point in his career.
Yes, guys. During this time, Kane was on a rampage in the WWE, catching dubs left and right with ease. As expected, Kane spent most of the match treating Benoit like his own personal ragdoll. He was all about throwing him around, diabolical.
Yeah, Benoit, though, wasn't going to go down without a fight. He started focusing on Kane's legs, trying to take down the giant piece by piece. Somehow, he managed to suplex Kane a few times, which was like watching someone trying to suplex a fridge. I had to look away during the flying headbutt. Kane kept trying to hit Benoit, but it seemed like he was just way too slippery. Maybe from all the baby oil?
Nice try there, Diddy. Well, we see what you did, Diddy. But in the end, after reversal of the crossface, Benoit was able to pull off a sneaky roll-up pin on the big red machine. Benoit with the dub. Why should you watch it? It's a very technical match with two great wrestlers. Watching Kane get on the top rope and Benoit being slippery was definitely fun. And finally, it's just your good old classic underdog story. 7.25 out of 10.
Yeah, Nick, looks like we are in our top 3. And might I add, these are all Hell in a Cell matches. Nick, who did we decide on number 3?
So at number 3, we have the World Heavyweight Championship Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley as the special referee between Triple H, who was the champion, versus Kevin Nash at Bad Blood 2003. Jesus, that's a lot to take in. This match was pretty much two roided out dudes smashing each other inside a giant steel cage with all weapons, including Triple H's trademark sledgehammer. Oh, and you can't forget, they threw one of the greatest hardcore wrestlers of all time, Mick Foley, in as a special guest referee just to make things crazier. And I'm surprised they didn't have Terry Funk there, but
Oh, yeah,
it is what it
absolutely.
is.
So we know Triple H is all about that hammer life and pretty much took it out from the rip. But Nash, like any man, had to one up him. He grabbed the steel steps and started whacking Triple H like he was a pinata. Mick Foley somehow got involved. I swear, I genuinely believe that that man just loves pain. Truly believe it. Mick was supposed to be the calm, reasonable referee, but it's Mick Foley that we're talking about. You just knew that that wasn't going to happen. It's Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind. It was never going to happen. At one point, Foley got knocked down and busted himself open. Just classic Mick Foley Hell in a Cell shenanigans.
And I forgot to mention the blood in this match. All three of them were leaking. Just so much leakage. It was all over their bodies, on the mat. It was a brutal, gritty brawl. And every time you saw their face, you would want to look away, but like you kind of couldn't because it was just such a draw. After both men had thrown everything they could find in and around the ring, literally, Triple H used his trusty sledgehammer to knock Nash out and then finished him off with a pedigree to retain the title. Why should you watch this? It's Triple H, Kevin Nash, and Mick Foley. Hell in the Cell. It is early 2000s ruthless aggression wrestling lore. 8.25 out of 10. Daphne, give them number 2.
Coming in at number 2, we have the best friends turned enemies. During Bad Blood 2004, we were absolutely blessed with a Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. This match was a let's see who can survive the longest type of situation. As you guys know, everything is legal in a Hell in a Cell match, and we saw everything you could possibly think of. Steel chairs? Yep. Ladders? Used. A table? Yeah, that too. At one point, Shawn Michaels dove off the top rope and splashed Triple H through a table because apparently that was the most logical solution to their issues.
Sweet Chin Musics and pedigrees were handed out like free samples at Costco, with both guys kicking out of each other's finishers like, nah, that's enough. Let's keep going. I'll eat all your shots. Triple H also found a set of steel steps and decided that smashing them into Shawn's injured back was a fun way to reminisce about old times. You know, just friends helping friends with physical therapy the hard way. With both guys busted open and leaking all over the mat and each other, at some point, Daphne looked at me and we both wondered when it would end.
Yeah, this match felt like 12 hours of bodily harm. Finally, Triple H decided two pedigrees were necessary to finally put Shawn down for good. At the end of this 47 minutes, Triple H technically won the match, but let's be real, they both lost a few brain cells and years off of their careers. Why should you watch it? It's Shawn Michaels and Triple H. D-Generation X. We're talking about the two guys running WWE at this moment. That's why. Our rating, 8.75 out of 10. So, Nick, do you mind revealing which match is number 1?
Finally, we are here, guys. So, our number one pick for bad blood matches you must watch is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood 1997. The match between Taker and Shawn was legendary for so many reasons. The most important one is because it was the first ever Hell in the Cell match that would set the tone for what Hell in the Cell matches would be. Also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Shawn Michaels actually introduced ladders into wrestling. So, Daphne, do you care to highlight this banger of a match?
Yeah, so from what it looked like, Taker really enjoyed introducing Shawn to the cell by repeatedly slamming him into it. At one point, Shawn was bouncing off the steel, and it didn't take long before he was bleeding all over the place.
Mm.
The cage wasn't just a structure, it was the Undertaker's personal weapon of choice. Shawn thought it would be a great idea to climb the side of the cell as if The Undertaker couldn't follow him. Spoiler alert, he could. And what happened next is pure WWE history. Shawn got thrown off the side of the cell, crashing through the announcer table. Big ouch. Big ouch. Blood everywhere. Shawn was leaking.
For most of the match, Taker was in full control. Taker was that true 7-foot supernatural being that we all know. And Michaels, he just didn't stand a chance. Just when it seemed like Taker was going to finish Shawn's night early, the lights went out and out came Kane, the younger, angrier brother of The Undertaker, making his WWE debut in the most dramatic way possible. Accompanied by Paul Bearer, Taker's old homie, as we all know, Kane quite literally ripped the cell door off of his hinges and entered the cell. After a close and long romantic stare down, Kane then hit his brother with the trademark tombstone piledriver, which in wrestling speak is the most protected finisher in history.
Yeah, with the Taker laid out, a half brain dead Shawn Michaels somehow crawled over to pin him. Thanks to Kane, Michaels walked away with the win. In the end, Shawn somehow managed to win, but let's be real, the match was all about Taker beating the life out of him, Kane tearing the house down, and everyone's jaw dropping at how insane the first ever Hell in a Cell match turned out to be. This match is a must watch for any WWE fan because it set the standard for all Hell in a Cell matches thereafter. And we can't forget about the debut of Kane. I remember when we watched that, watching him tear the steel door off its hinges, we were dumbfounded. 9 out of 10, absolute banger.
So, guys, thanks for hanging around to the end with us. These are our top 5 Bad Blood matches that you must watch before Bad Blood 2024, or honestly, just whenever. Please do not forget to sweet chin music into that subscribe and like. And if you want to comment on some other great PLE matches that were part of Bad Blood, please feel free to do so. And also, it's crazy how Shawn Michaels was in 3 out of 5 of these matches. So Shawn Michaels has a lot of bad blood, I would say, experience at this point. A lot of brain cells lost, a lot of blood lost. So, Daphne, you want to finish them off with anything?
No, that's it. Please make sure that you watch out for our predictions video and our recap after Bad Blood.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a good week. Bye bye.
Bye.